Well, it's funny because we moved from Edwardian times, which was the first series, right up into the sort of roaring 20s, really. So
a lot of partying going on.
A lot of partying, a lot of hedonism, but I feel like Mr. Selfridge always covers the most sort of interesting bits. So it's been great to sort of dip your toe in these different time periods and these different costumes, because I started off very much corseted with very big hair piled on top of my head and no makeup really, and we've gone completely nightmare. It was kind of like, hard being in those corsets for such a long time, and that lasted for 2 years, and now it's the late 20s, so everything's very flowing and there's lots of hair and makeup, so it's a completely different look, and it's so nice to be the same person but go through these different periods of time. It's really interesting.
This is the delightful moment where we ask everybody what they think as well when they're sitting opposite you.
No pressure.
Exactly, no bother. So, Elaine, are you going to miss Mr. Selfridge?
I've got to be honest, it's something I dip in and out of, and I'm not a regular viewer, and I'm saying that with Amy sitting here because I can't possibly watch everything in every episode.
Well, as long as she's banked the check by now, it's fine.
No, I don't. I always believe in honesty. There's no point in saying, "Oh, I love it. I've watched every episode." If I haven't, because I'll slip up. But I think the good thing about this series is, as Amy says, we've moved forward in time, and there's a real change, I think, with this one. You've got people getting older, passing things on to the next generation who may do things differently. Historically, the store gets floated on the stock market, and as Amy said as well, her character has a big change coming in episode 3, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to make a big difference to. Well, I'm not going to say anything, but it will make a big difference to her character, and that does mark quite a big difference for women, I think, at that time. So I think this is a good time to stop it, because I think the writer said that Andrew Davies said he was only going to write 4 series.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they've sort of said, right, it's not popular, the axe is coming down. It is popular. It's hugely popular. Exactly. It's been one of ITV's sort of biggest things. And with Downton going and Mr. Selfridge gone, ITV viewers shouldn't fear that that's the end of the costume dramas, because they've got a couple of things coming
Jericho
up as well.
on Thursday.
They've got Jericho, they've got Victoria coming up, and they've also announced The Halcyon, which hasn't been cast yet. But again, it's not the end of costume drama for ITV.
What do you think it was, Boyd, about Mr. Selfridge that it really grabbed the nation, essentially?
I thought it was a really good idea to tell us the story of this iconic store, really. One of the first great department stores. It's simple as that, really. And the character of Mr. Selfridge himself is pretty incredible to have Jeremy Piven. I still can't get over the fact that Jeremy Piven, who's a kind of A-list Hollywood star, is in the middle of this.
Yes.
Rather very British
I still
show.
See trailers and go, cheapers, that's Jeremy
It's
Piven.
odd. It is odd to think of it. So I think that was intriguing, and I just think it was very well cast. It has still been very well cast, and it's good to see Kathleen Kelly's back for the series. I think it did miss her, because I think she's such a great actor, and I think her character was really feisty and fun, and she wasn't in it. Was she in it at all last series? No, she wasn't. So I'm really pleased that she's back, and I think it's just a really good idea. BBC, funny enough, I remember when Mr. Selfridge, do you remember the name of
Paradise.
it? The Paradise. So they had their own department store. Yeah, department store period drama, which was nowhere near as good. I have to say, it was really quite dull in comparison. So it just shows you sometimes, you can have the same kind of idea, but it's all in the
Depends
execution.
how it's done,
Well, Amy, you're on the stage currently. What else have you got planned coming up?
Well, there's a few things bubbling at the moment, which I'm not really allowed to talk about.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, we'll see.
That sounds like a perfect opportunity to talk about it, to be fair.
No, I'm sworn to secrecy, sorry.
Well, listen, the best of luck with all of it, and thank you for being with us. I know you'll be missed.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
That's Amy Beth Haynes, who plays Kitty Edwards, and Mr. Selfridge returns for its final series on Friday at 9 p.m. on ITV. We're going to have to leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, would you believe it? Because we have David Cameron's all-important statement in the Commons coming up. So, Elaine, Boyd, thank you very much for a very curtailed TV club. If David Cameron decides to stand down a bit early, we might come back to you. So
Okay.
we'll hover. Make a cup of coffee or something. Then.
Yeah,
Make
we'll
one for
relax.
us.
Feet up.
Lovely stuff. Before that, we're going to nip back to Cape Town as well and get the very latest in the cricket. Henry.
Where South Africa have declared on 627 for 7, just 2 runs behind England. It means Alistair Cook and Alex Hales, England's openers, have a tricky 7 overs or so in the last half an hour before the close of play to negotiate. So South Africa declaring on 627 for 7, 2 runs behind England.
Thank you very much, Henry. Now let us cross to the House of Commons, where our chief political Jedi, John Pienaar, is there. John, hello.
Hi there, hello. Yes, we're now waiting in the moments before David Cameron gets to his feet and gives us this statement on Europe and pointing the way forward to maybe the final lap of this renegotiation of Britain's membership. with a statement, and we're going to get in that statement some ideas of where he thinks we are.